who have been demonstrating from yesterday peacefully. The police have refused to engage with us and now have set upon, first of all, they've towed away our public address systems and they've set themselves upon the protesters, brutalizing and arresting. And in particular, in my case, several hundred of them tried to arrest me and I was able to get away and come to the studios of Joy on a motorbike.
Why this sudden change of approach?
We don't know. Since morning, we wrote a letter to the Ghana Police Service, particularly because when we woke up, they had released a statement at 3 a.m. signaling their intention to use force against protesters. We replied to the press statement they issued and wrote an urgent letter. We called the Greater Accra Regional Police Commander, Ahin. We called the Greater Accra Police Regional Lawyer, Bani. We have written to the Inspector General of Police. We've demanded an urgent meeting at 10 a.m. They reverted to say that they are not interested in dialogue at this point. So at this point, the institution itself is not interested in a conversation with organizers in order to ensure that the demonstration continues to proceed peacefully. Now, we don't know where this change in approach and direction is coming from. They have shown every intention that they are continuing to use brute force in how they deal with the conversation around stopping Galamsey and creating accountability around that. And we're using this medium. The reason why I've come to Joy straight from the grounds is that we're using this medium to appeal to all those civil society organizations, and there are several hundreds of them that have released statements calling for urgent action on this issue. This is not a fix the country fight. This is not a few young people's fight. This is for all of us. And it is not enough to continue to sit and use the same old discarded approaches. Writing letters do not work. We must engage seriously in the process of mobilizing young people, mobilizing our community to become participants in the conversation. We cannot take an elite-driven approach to this issue. Every Ghanaian must feel implicated and involved in order to stand forth and speak forth. Now, we are taking this approach in order to ensure that many young people can also show that in addition to the written approaches, there must be an integrated, a more sustainable, and a community-driven approach in bringing everybody behind this call. So it is not enough to segregate ourselves into various caucuses. And if people are displeased with me as an individual, or with anybody else we are organizing with, remember that the environment is not my responsibility or those of us who are standing here. It is all of us our responsibility. And so if we say we care about this, we cannot sit aloof and watch as young people are being brutalized by our Ghana Police Service. Individuals who have failed us in the fight against stopping our waters being poisoned. I do not understand how many more audios, how many more documentaries Joy has to produce for us to draw attention to this issue. It is not enough anymore to sit on the sidelines. We must speak and we must engage this issue now.
So are you saying that despite the police, changing approach, the demonstration is still ongoing?
Our resolve is that the demonstration is going to continue. And if they continue to frustrate us, we'll go beyond the 3 days that we notify them of. Because this is not an issue where we are going to sit silent and watch our water bodies being destroyed. But people are continuing to mine in forest reserves. This is not the Ghana we envisage in this project. This is not what our fathers dreamed of. And it's our responsibility not to let them down. This is why we must speak up.
So you see this as an attempt to frustrate you, to prevent you from undertaking this lawful activity?
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many credible investigations that shows that many of the individuals who are involved in irresponsible mining across the country are connected to the presidency. We did not choose Julobi House by mistake or out of nuisance, because we want to go where the buck stops with. And we want to preserve the right in our democracy for citizens to walk to the seat of government and present their petition. That is what is democratic. That is what happens across the world over. And so this idea that we have elected for ourselves monarchs who can rape and destroy our environment, and yet we cannot march and tell them that enough is enough, must end today. Something must change in our democracy if we are interested in preserving this democracy.
My other question is, I read a statement from the National Youth Organizer of the MPP, and some members of the MPP, they've been on social media saying that, calling on their members to also come to where you are demonstrating, because according yesterday, some members destroyed their party flags and other paraphernalia. They think that it was unlawful, and for that reason, they are also coming there to protect their party property. What's your response to this?
First of all, let's reflect on the bizarre irony and stupidity even that some young people calling themselves NPP youth have gotten incensed over the fact that at yesterday's demonstration, all around us on the Liberation Road, we do not see Ghana flags or Ghana paraphernalia. All we see is party paraphernalia. And so people then were calling attention. People were calling attention to the party that has been in power for so long and has caused so much mess. And so they burned those flags in protest as a form of expression. It is only criminal to burn a flag of Ghana. This is the national identity flag. But no law protects political party flags. No law protects them. And the idea that citizens, young people, will not get angry enough on their leadership and their failure to take action on the environment and become so incensed about a flag, and so as to mobilize themselves behind the deputy national organizer, somebody who holds office in the party, that they were coming to attack protesters. But even more importantly, they went through the police barricades around the Jolobi house, where the police allowed them to breach the barricades in order to come in and attack protesters. Let us reflect on this. We do not think that this is an isolated incident. We think that even the fact that they have issued statements calling the leadership of the country as targets that they want to do anything to, saying that they are mobilizing themselves and coming to them, we think that this is connected with the state. And we cannot allow party hooligans to take over the republic and destroy it. We will stand up. It is left for all of us to decide for us what kind of republic, what kind of democracy we want.
My final question will be, as you look into the camera, what are you telling the Ghanaian youth as you enter the truth of the demonstration?
To be honest, my soul bleeds. It is so much difficult for me to comprehend how we as young people have decided to give up on ourselves and to give up on this country and its destiny. So many years ago, some individuals stood up. They stood up and walked the long walk in the belief that if they achieved independence and freedom for us, that we may be able to valorate and put dignity on our names and our lives. We cannot continue to live like animals in a republic that promises us justice. It doesn't make sense to me that young people have decided to give up on their future and that of posterity in tomorrow's generation. That is not what young people do. It is to young people to dream and to dream a better world, a different Ghana, one that secures for us the blessings of prosperity. This is what we are calling you to do. Enough is enough. You cannot stay and continue to cower in a democracy. You cannot let fear lead you in a democracy. This is not what was promised us. And we are calling every individual, wherever you are, that descend here